Hey, it's Mr. Keys, and today we're going to take a look at 16th notes and rests. Now, so we've looked at a lot of different notes, and the 16th note, this will be the last note or type of note that we take a look at, in this course at least. And the 16th note is a quarter of a beat. So now we're breaking our beat down even more. This is a 16th rest. So we're going to take a look at how we count and clap these things. Now, the same thing, just like the 8th note, this one has flags, and it has two of them. Okay, so one flag means that the note is an 8th note. If you have two flags, it's a 16th note. And the same thing with these. This has two beams, and that's how we distinguish 8th notes from 16th notes. Okay, so if a 16th note, if two 16th notes are together, then they'll add 2 bars this time. Just like how an 8th note had the 1 bar. Okay, so these are 8th notes. 16th notes have 2 bars. Okay, so these are 16th notes. And the same thing, like if there's 4 16th notes in a row, they'll bar them all. Okay, and so that's kind of what they look like. Now, sometimes you get a combination of 16th notes and 8th notes. So for example, you'll see this a lot of the time. So these guys are 16th notes. How do we distinguish? Well, if 2 bars are touching the stem, then it's a 16th note. If only 1 bar is touching the stem, then it's an 8th note. And that's what that is right there. Okay? And there's many different varieties or variations of this. You can even get a 16th note with an 8th note. So here's our 16th note, and here is our single 8th note. And then we might have a 16th rest after that. So many different ways to write this. The main thing, like I said, if the stem is touching 2 bars, it's a 16th note. If the stem is touching 1 bar, it's an 8th note. Okay, let's take a look at how to clap these. All right, so you're going to notice that, yes, we have another change. And the change that we have is that now our beat is broken into 4 pieces. Because remember, a 16th note is a quarter of a beat. So we have to break our chocolate bars, or our beats, into quarters. And now we have to have a new way of counting every single piece of that chocolate bar. So the way that we count is 1 a halfa, 2 a halfa, 3 a halfa, 4 a halfa. Okay? For those of you who like to say and for this instead of half, then it would be 1 and a, but I think that's a little awkward. Okay, that's why I count 1 a halfa. Or some people count 1 e and a. So it's completely up to you. I prefer 1 a halfa, but I might mix between the two. So let's take a look. This is a 16th note. We have 4 16th notes here. How do we know? Well, look, we have the 2 bars connected to each stem. Okay, followed by a quarter, 2 eighths, and then another quarter. So every 16th note is a quarter of a beat. So let's assign them. So this is going to go right here. Will go to the next one, right here. Half will go to the third one. And the last in this chocolate bar or beat, will go to the last 16th note. On to beat 2. So for beat 2, well, this is one beat totally, so it gets the entire chocolate bar. That goes totally to that note. With this one, if we remember, this is half a beat, so it gets half a chocolate bar. Half a chocolate bar would just be 3 so 3 goes to this note, and the other half will go to this note. Now when we get to beat 4, since it's a chord note, it gets the entire beat. So this entire beat is going to go to this note right here. Let's take a look at how we can count this out. So if you're following along here, I'm just going to, whatever I drew as an arrow to here is what we're going to assign these. So it's going to be 1, half, 2 half that belongs to this guy. This one is going to get 3 I'll change colors so that it makes it a little easier. 3 half and this one gets 4 half Okay, and we'll continue down here to see how we count this section. So this is an eighth note. It's going to get, I'll clear this, it's going to get half of a chocolate bar, so that would be 1 This gets half. This is going to get This is an eighth rest, so it gets half of a beat. So 2 This will get half. This gets, oops, this gets This is an eighth note, so it gets 3 16th note, it just gets 1/4. So half, 16th rest, gets half, or sorry, gets 1/4 as well. This is 16 and 16, so we have 4 half Let's continue on. 1 half 2 oops half 3 half 4 half and that's pretty much how we count it. I'll just count this really quick once again, and now we're going to learn how to clap through this. 3 half and we're done. Okay, so let's take a look at how to clap this. So a little bit more complicated, and I've added ties and rests just so that you can see exactly how this whole thing works. So 1 half 2 half 3 half 4 half 1 half 2 half 3 half 4 half 1 half 2 half 3 half 4 half That's pretty much how 16th notes are clapped and counted, and hopefully you learned a lot from this lesson, and I'll see you next time.